Many people I see today place a high amount of value onto looking good. They want to appear successful, rich, humble, strong, etc. Their desire to look good is greater than their desire to be great. Throughout this video, I'll explain the root cause of this issue. I will tell you how it manifests and plays out into weakening you and corrupting the whole of society of this new upcoming generation. By the end, I'll set out a clear and simple path for you to escape this narcissistic state of mind. You will find your way back to yourself and begin to walk the path to greatness. In today's day and age exists this constant need to prove yourself. This young generation has this strong desire to be recognized, to be seen, and to be respected. By no means is this a new phenomena. However, through the excessive importance and usage of social media, this has completely gone off the rails in the past few years. Everyone has to be better than the next one. We have to have more money, more success, more women, more gains in the gym, more wealth, a better house, a better car, whatever. We have to prove ourselves. Every single one feels like he has to prove himself. And it is because of this universal trauma inflicted literally from social media. But to understand it, we need to go back to social structures and the basics of human interaction. So human beings are social animals, social beings. That means we invest and exchange, lose and gain a lot of power from social circles, from our social life, and also the interactions with other people. In these social circles, your mind automatically compares yourself, the image it has of you, to the image it has of the other people in your circle, the other people that you know. And this creates always either conflict or sufficiency, confidence or self-pity, self-condemning. And then the mind also adjusts according to the feeling. Meaning if you hit the gym, for example, and your homie just put on like 10 pounds, 5 kilograms of muscle, and you notice it, he's become bigger and bigger, and you're still the same as months before, in this moment, he will rank above you, right? Your mind will put him over you in this context. And this will lead to pain, obviously, a bit less respect, and then also action. Your mind then also calls for action and adjusts, makes you make the right moves to adjust to according to your friend. Okay, so you level up. The same happens when you are the guy, you're the guy, you're making progress, you're improving. Your homies are not improving, your friends are not making the same progress, and therefore you're feeling a lot of more self-respect, feeling better for yourself, better over yourself, but you are halted, kind of. Your improvement is kind of comes to a halt because you don't feel the need, because you're already improving a lot more than the people around you, and your mind adjusts according to them. So your mind tells you, it's all right, chill out, you're doing good, you don't have to do more than you're doing already. This is one of the many reasons people say that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your mind adjusts to others, and others adjust according to you. That's why a lot of successful people also talk about the importance of mentors and of changing your circles. A mentor will, without much effort, change you, elevate you simply through his presence. Of course, all of this also depends on intrinsic values and your motivations, as well as your level of awareness. Most of this happens unconsciously though. The average social circle consists of about 150 people, according to Dunbar's number. That means that normally we have about 150 people in our minds who we are comparing ourselves to. If you are using social media, especially short form content, you can instantly 10x this number to 1 to 2k people you see every day on your phone. You might say now that this is something good, something that inspires you to be better. Uh, I mean, a greater circle means more competition, which means you look higher and you'll get better and better, right? Well, no. No, that's not true at all, because there is just way too much exposure you're being given on social media. There are many things which might motivate you for the moment. I mean, things that inspire you. Someone is successful, you think, damn, I could do the same, or damn, why am I not doing this, right? Like standing up off your bed, doing something might motivate you for the moment, but in the long run, it's just way too many things, which makes you impatient, greedy for money, for success, unsure what path you have to pursue because there is just so much on the internet that you see every day. And you become ungrateful. Ungrateful for your life, for what you have in life, for your personal qualities, because you are being fed literal trash that makes you believe that all that matters are superficial pursuings, are social media posts, showing off on social media what you've already achieved. And this is just straight trash. And slowly but surely, social media will lead you astray and away and hold you away from your path to real success. Furthermore, because we are so overexposed to success stories and many different people, many different successful people, successful businesses, successful athletes, whatever, we think we also have to show off on the internet that we are better as well, that we are better than the average, than the next one, than our homies, whatever. We think we have to show off and prove something externally. We want success, but not to fulfill a specific cause or sake, but just to show off. And you might say, no, Paul, I get what you're saying, but I'm different. Like, I want to retire my family. I want to have a house for my kids. I want to have a family, whatever. I will retire my parents. I mean, good for you, man. I hope it will work out. I hope you can do that. But if you're being honest to yourself, is this really what motivates you? What you want? What you are thinking about? Do you wake up and think about, yeah, man, I'm gonna retire my parents? Nah, bro. You're not thinking about it. It's not like a fire that burns in you, like, yeah, I will retire my parents. It's a good thing, don't get me wrong. Please do it if you can. Do it, have it as a motivation. But you have to ask yourself internally, do you really want this? Or is it just something you heard like 5 times and have now internalized it because it sounds cool and right and deedful, right? You have to ask yourself. But this right here is the issue. The intrinsic motivation, a real reason, is missing for most of us. Nonetheless, some of these people will succeed, already have succeeded, who just desired dumb, earthly, material desires. But once they reach this point, once you've reached success with the desire of simply success and showing off, you will realize that having a cool house, a nice car, and numbers on your bank account is not what you've actually wanted. That this is not the goal we thought it would be. Our motivation became superficial. I mean, today, so many people don't even care about who they truly are. How are you acting when no one is looking? What are you really thinking about internally? What do you actually desire? What are your dreams? What you truly want is to be better, to truly become something instead of just showing off, of just trying to look like it. Otherwise, you won't gain any success and just ponder around aimlessly. In our generation, there's also a lot of fundamental understanding missing. Instead, we just run on the conditioned autopilot we were fed from social media. Talking about money, for example. Most of us here probably desire to become wealthy. Well, how do we get here? What do we get money for? I can tell you it's not for selling some product or a service or for creating content, for lending out your time. This doesn't generate money, none of it. What you get money for is for helping people, for creating value. So as you want to make money, you have to be thinking about helping people all day. How can I help? What are skills that could be helpful for my next one? What is needed in the world? Have you ever had any of these thoughts? This is what you need to ask yourself if you want to make money. Or are you instead just thinking, how can I make money? How can I be rich? We have to change our thinking and our program. We have to deprogram our mind of the false beliefs and values we inherited. The average today gets inflated and elevated by the masses that try to improve themselves. A lot more people practice healthy habits, do sports, and try to elevate themselves consciously. Today, everybody wants to be somebody more than ever before. Don't get me wrong, this is a great thing. This is really beneficial for humanity, for man especially, right? There is a great development here. However, at the same time, great and revolutionary geniuses will occur less and less in the future. Masters of one trade, be it builders, architects, artists, scientists, designers, philosophers, creators. People are losing their love to mastery, to truly thrive and create great things, great masterpieces, to put in tens of thousands of hours into one thing up until they can create real beauty, real change, real value for the world. What they start loving instead are the earthly and lower pleasures. Respect from other people, money, validation, external things, material things. This is what they work for. But you have to find your own and real reasons for the things that you do internally. Something that has great emotional charge, that will be there to give you motivation and will still light the fire in you in 10 or 50 years from now on. Even more importantly, you have to find something that you can fall in love with. Something that you will do up until mastery, until real mastery. Otherwise, you will continue to swim in the big lake of mediocrity. You might not fail, but you also won't really succeed. You will be like everyone else in the mass, trying to prove something to the people around them, around us, proving that they are worthy to be here and that they can achieve whatever they desire. But you have to internalize that you don't need to prove your own existence here, and especially not to other people. Instead, you should create your own set of real values that you will stick to, that you will build your life around, from which you can give birth to greatness to, and not the superficial social media bullshit. So, what should you do exactly? First of all, and obviously, you need to stop using social media, except for really like productive purposes, right? Learning, for example, actively learning. You don't want to fill your brain with useless information, useless noise that your mind can't even filter, right? Even if it's knowledge, if it's like productive information, beneficial information, helpful guides or whatever, you're probably still consuming way too much information for your mind to even comprehend, and way too much to put into action. Okay, so you should be putting every piece of knowledge you're acquiring straight into action. Otherwise, you just forget it, you never internalize it, and it doesn't benefit your life, right? Knowledge itself doesn't benefit your life except when you take action with it. So, cut out the noise and regain the ability to listen to yourself. Chase yourself and you will chase success. Okay, so second point. Sit down and think about your life. What are your desires? What are your goals? Write down 5 goals you want to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years. And third, think about your virtues and your values. Write down the 5 values that are most important to you, that you want to see represented in yourself and in the world. Pause the video, write down first goals and then values, virtues. Now, read and reflect your goals. Contemplate. Do any of these goals serve a deeper purpose? Do these goals reflect your values? Where do they come from, these goals? Are these desires that will fulfill your true self or just your ego? And will achieving these goals bring good to yourself and to those around you? Are you really benefiting the world, or are you just trying to prove something? Okay, so you have to compare your set of goals to your set of values. You have to see if it's aligning, and if it's disaligned, I guess you won't change your values, so change the goals until all of them fit all of your values. And now, third of all, in day-to-day life, try to do everything consciously. Be focused 24/7 and only ever focus on the task at hand, on what you're doing right now. So when you're brushing your teeth, you're just brushing your teeth. When you're eating, you're just eating. Without a podcast, without a video on, without reading something, just reading. When you're walking, just walk. When you're working, just work on your task, on the task at hand. Okay? Because when you split up your attention and multitask and like work while listening to a podcast or something, your attention will get split up and half of it will get lost. So to get 100% results, you need to give 100% of the attention to the task at hand, and to every moment especially. While being aware, you will quickly realize after a few days if doing what you're doing is actually fulfilling, in the sense that it lights on this burning fire inside of you, where you can do the work, where you can do things for a long time without getting tired, without getting distracted, where you just have this laser focus and this desire to work on it and to improve on it, where you're just really passionate. And B, second of all, where you know that it will get you closer to one of the goals, to a higher purpose, instead of just getting a paycheck. If you realize you're not having fulfillment in both of these points, you can ask yourself what you would do if money wasn't an issue. Meaning, if you could take any risk without worrying about the outcome, without worrying if it will be successful and generate money. What would you do right now? What would you desire to do if money wasn't an issue? Ask yourself. And thinking about this, you might get the answer after a few days or weeks, but this can uncover a deeper and truer purpose for your life you can follow and fulfill from now on. Meditate on these questions and you will get the answers even faster. Now, taking all of these steps, you will quickly find out what you're really meant to do, who you are meant to be, and what your purpose is. Where you're able to finally walk a path of honesty and alignment instead of ever chasing useless desires and useless fulfillments. Okay, a path where you can finally stop being interrupted, being influenced by social media, but instead follow and walk after your own virtues, values, and purpose. To be great instead of just acting good. So, decide who you want to be before others do it for you. Okay, that's it from me. I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Peace.